Hey up YouTube, welcome to the latest video. Today I'm going to take you through a nice and easy 11-minute hip mobility routine. So let's get going. Yes, now, so obviously before we get into this video, make sure you've hit that like button, make sure you've hit that big red button below. As I said, we're going to be taking you through a hip mobility sequence. We've got 6 mobilization exercises, we've got 3 strength exercises, and then 2 just stretches at the end just to relieve that tension of the hips. They're going to feel great after this. If any of you struggle with tight hips, which inevitably, obviously, with a lot of us sitting down at the moment, spending a lot more times at our desks, we are going to have tight hips, we're going to have tight hamstrings, we're going to have tight backs, and it's really important then to mobilize the hips, which is actually going to help in so much. So you might, as I said, you might feel like your back's really tight, but once you actually relieve that tension in the hips, it's going to do wonders then for the tightness that's probably occurring in the lower back. As I said, 11 minutes, all it is, on the mat, so it's very, very nice and easy, okay? Guys, get yourself ready up. What we're going to do is we're going to start off in a quadruped position. So we're on all fours and we're going to start with a controlled articular rotation, CARS for short, because no one wants to say that every now and again, do they? So we're going to start left side first of all, and we're going to go 30 seconds on each leg. So we bring, I'll show you what we're going to do first. We're going to bring knee right up to the elbow, full range of motion in the joint, and then we come back the way. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So knee right the way into the elbow, leg comes out, comes back in, and we go back all the way round the other side. So as I said, controlled articular rotation. Basically, it's just we're taking the joint through its full range of motion. Yeah. So you can do this on any of your joints, but obviously depends on what joint you're doing on is limited. 3, 2, swap to the side. So say obviously with your hips and your shoulders, for example, being a ball in socket, we have a lot of range that we can work through. But say if we were to do the knee, there's not really too much we can work with. 15 seconds, keep it going. Nice and slow reps. And you're trying to almost imagine there's a box. You're trying to get that knee right the way over that top of the box. That'll do. Last rep. From here, we're going to come into a frog position. So hands in front, split the knees quite far wide. Then we bring the feet back. Okay. From here, we sit back into the hips, return to that neutral position. So we get a lot of tension in the groin now. So if I go side on a little bit, so you can see what I'm doing. Feet nice and flat. Sit into those hips. Come up to the top. Sit into those hips. So you really should feel that tightness and that release right through the groin, right through those adductors. But it should feel good. We've got 30 seconds. And then we're going to stay in this frog position and come into then internal rotation. So just stay here, nice and slow movements. Don't rush these because obviously from the range with our hips, it would be very easy to obviously twinge something and hurt something. So just work nice and slowly through these reps. We go 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring your hands, bring the feet a tiny bit closer together. From here we come internal rotation. So we're trying to get this back foot up as high as possible. And now, as I said, internally rotating through the hips. We go 30 seconds on each leg. Try and get that leg up as high as possible. Obviously, the higher up you go, the more of a stretch, the more of a release, and the harder you'll have to work. 5, 4, 3, 2. Same on the other side. So I'll go front on now. Up as high as you can. Down, back. As I said on the mobility video before, it's always about working through your active range. So never feel you have to push it. Never feel you have to go as far as I might be going. It's all important to just go where your body can and just not pushing your limits, and you're just always working through your active range of motion. We go 5 seconds, 3, 2, 1. From here, let's come 90-90 position. So we come knee extending out from the hip in this 90-degree angle. From here, we're going to do what's called a Pigeon Stretch. So it's an active movement. So we have left arm out, and we tilt towards this right side through the hip. Ooh, come as low as you can. Come up to the top. So tilt, 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 tilt. Feel that tension in the hamstrings. Yeah, good. So it's a good strengthener, this one as well, just because obviously the range we're working towards, you're now feeling all of that tension in the hips and glutes, and you're having to work against it. We go one more rep. Breathe. Switch over to the other side, and then we go exactly the same thing again. Lean towards it. Always think as well about leaning from the hip, okay? I never want you to collapse over here, because that takes the tension off the hip and what we're trying to be doing, but just maintain this 90-degree action in the legs you've got going on. We go 10 seconds, and then we're going to stay in this 90-90 position. 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, we come into a hover. So the whole idea is just to get this leg up as high as possible, and then return. High up, return. Try not to obviously lean away from it, and you want to stay as tall as possible and leave. So hover, yeah? So you're trying to get this complete leg completely off the floor and then drop. Really push all this body weight through this right hand and just really just work to what you can. We go 5 seconds. 3, 2, back to the side. So back over, same again. Hover. See, so like I immediately feel like my left hip, but it's always a case, it does have a little bit more mobility than my right. It naturally, I can get a little bit further, and that's just a prime example of working through your active range and how your active range of motion might not be the same on each leg. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. From here, we come prone position down on the floor, and we're going to come into a hover again. So what I want you to do is have your head to the floor. I'm going to keep my head up just so you can see what I'm doing. And I bring foot up into the chest and then return that knee. So you want to keep those hips neutral. So we bring leg up as high as possible and then return back. As high as possible and then return back. So it's a really quite difficult one to make sure we hover and keep this knee off the floor the entire time. Last rep. Okay, swap to the side. Same thing again. As high as you can, return to that neutral position. As I said, try and the whole time have your head to the floor and then just breathe through those repetitions. So knee up as high as you can and then return back. What time are we on? Okay, we go 5 seconds. Let's go. Last rep. Nice. Okay, have a little bit of a breather. From here, the hip should feel really good, okay? We're going to go through a few strength exercises now. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to go half kneeling flexion. So we come half kneeling position, and from here, we're going to lift this foot up as high as we can. We go 5 reps, okay, on each leg. 3, 2, 1. So lunge position, lift that foot up. 3, 2, 1. Drop, lift that foot up. 3, 2, 1. If you need to, obviously have a chair with you for a little bit of stability, because it does make it that little bit easier. Last rep, you should feel a lot of tension in the hips now. Bang, swap to the other side. So we get left foot up. 1, 2, 3, drop. 1, 2, 3, drop. Same again. 2, 3. 2 more. So obviously, as I said, end range flexion. So you can make this harder by putting the leg higher up. So say if you get some books or something, you can stack your foot up, you're going to start in a higher position straight away. From here, we go back round to the other side and we go full round back again. But remember that little contraction. So 1, 2, 3, drop. 1, 2, 3, drop. We've got 2 more reps. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then swap. Same again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Those hips should be working now. Let's just stay with it. Stay with that rep range. 2 more. 2, 3. Okay, last one. 1, 2, 3. We come standing position. From here, we're going to come into a Cossack squat. So you're going to have your feet nice and wide. From here, turn the toes out quite wide, and we're going to go 12 repetitions where we lean through one leg, come up to the top, lean through the other side. If that's struggling, what I want you to do instead is side lunge, okay? And then you'll come and side lunge out. But otherwise, move through this Cossack. And the whole idea here, we go 12 reps, as I said, but what you obviously want to do is start working to a range where you really working to a nice low position. But this is a good one to really strengthen out through those hips. Okay, we go one more. Okay, a little bit of a shake off. Let's go one more set. So nice and wide. Lean through it. Up, across, back, down. Yeah. So see how I'm using this foot to come off the floor, because obviously when you leave here, it makes it a little bit harder. So it just takes that tension away from those hips. Okay, halfway. 6. 2 more. 1. Okay, perfect. From here, we're going to come back down to the floor, and we're going to come into a skiing hip flexor. So a lot of strength through the hips. We come lunge position, and we're just going to hold this for 15. So just really low lunge position. Have the hands forward, so protract through the shoulder blades, and just push. 3, 2, 1. Swap to the other leg. Try and be nice and quick. Come off that lunge position. Protract the shoulders. Push everything forward, and be strong through these hips. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back around the other side. Right knee down, left leg forward. Come off. Push it all forward, and just be strong through this left leg. Guys, we go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right knee, left knee, swap. Let's go. Yes, this is the last exercise, and then we're going to start stretching things off. Just remember to always breathe in your reps. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Okay, so those hips should be firing now. Okay, so we're just going to really just relieve that tension that we've just worked through. So, pigeon stretch. High plank position. What I want you to do is bring your foot up nice and high, and then we sit back through it. It's up to you now if you just collapse forward, and now you just feel this really nice tension release down in the hips, but just relax now. This is all just important, just to put your muscle through its full lengthen and just bring it back to its normal state. We go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So obviously do the same to get back out of it, and then we swap over to the other side. Exactly the same thing again. Collapse over that front knee and just push through it as much as you can. Obviously, the further you lean into that knee, the more of a stretch you'll feel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight from here, we're going to return to that 90-90 position, similar to that kin stretch we did, which was active, but this time what I want you to do, lean towards it, and then almost come across this front knee and just relax now. What I want you to imagine is a weight plate underneath this knee, and you're trying to push that weight plate down as much as possible and register as much weight onto that plate. So you push, 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 push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Same on the other side. Last one. Weight plate, feet at 90 degree. Push that knee through the floor. Push, 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 push. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice, guys. Well done. That's good. So hopefully your hips feel good after that. Hopefully some tension's been relieved. Obviously, the more you do this kind of thing, the better it's going to be, and the more you're going to see the benefits from it. But as I always say, make sure you've dropped the video a like. Comment down below anything you want me to cover, if that's mobility, if that's workouts, whatever it might be. Drop a comment down below, and I'll be sure to try and get it done for you. But other than that, stay safe, and I'll see you very, very soon.